So it's really cool this year. Bassmaster magazine they name like the top 100 lakes in the country. Right. They go to great lengths to really pay attention to the tournament results through the year, that sort of thing. But Lake Murray was named number 4 in the country, number 1 in the Southeast. Does it surprise you?
Not at all. Seeing those tournament weights, or at least getting to hear about them day in and day out, it's been putting out weights that will rival any lake in the country, for that matter. This lake's diverse. And it's one of the reasons why I've always loved it. It's got so many different types of water you can fish. It gives fish a variety of forage. You're not just always centered on one thing. The aquatic vegetation is giving us crawfish again. So.
Totally agree. Ever since I can remember, Lake Murray's been a good lake. All lakes cycle. Right. Have their ups and downs, but there's never really been a down period for Lake Murray. It's one of the top 5 fisheries in the entire country, and you and I both travel all over the country and fish.
Definitely agree with that. Whenever somebody gets out started, aspiring to be a professional bass fisherman, winning is that's obviously our goal. Before you've gotten that win, there's doubt. Like am I good enough to do this? You see other guys winning, and sometimes you begin to wonder, like, man, I don't know if I really have what it takes. When you do get that first win under your belt, it's confidence, man. That's what it gives you. It gives you affirmation, and it just lets you know that you belong, and that's what you can start building your career off of.
I totally agree. So I think winning is a big thing, and to me, winning a major title is really, really huge. And like you said, for self-confidence as much as anything, I'd won a couple Bassmaster tournaments, but they were regular tournaments. And yeah, that's great. Winning a championship or an angler year is a big, big deal. And kind of like you wonder, I won a regular tournament, but maybe that was just my lucky week or whatever. Right. I finished second in a classic one year. And Ray Scott's got my hand and George Cochran's. And as my fish settled on the scale, weight came up short, and he let my hand go and raised George Cochran's. And it felt like somebody had kicked me in the gut and stabbed me, in the shoulders, because all the air was let out of my dreams as a kid.
Right.
But after I got over it, I started thinking, you were that close to winning the world championship. One of the best, certainly maybe not the best, but one of the best things that ever happened to me in my career is to really finally realize, hey, if you can step it up just a little bit, you could, do something pretty cool.
That's cool.
To stay involved in the sport I loved, I dreamed of being involved in. It was just a great opportunity that I never dreamed of. I really enjoy it, and I especially enjoy places that I'm very familiar. Maybe I've had a win, but when they came here, when the Bassmaster Elite Series came here to Lake Murray this past year, I just was in hog heaven, and I felt so good to call this my home lake. Mm-hmm. The weights were phenomenal. I mean, even people that, finished in 70th place went home with a smile on their face because they had never been, and so many of those anglers had never fished Lake Murray.
Yeah, that was a tournament that I didn't think I could catch the kind of weight that I ended up catching doing what I was doing. I felt like I could catch the weight I needed to get to, the latter rounds of the event. And it was just one of those deals that as the tournament progressed, I started catching bigger fish. And that final day, luckily I had saved enough areas that I hadn't fished in, and I hit one stretch, and it was just, I caught the 8-pounder, and probably one of the biggest fish I've ever caught in a tournament. I've not caught many 8-pounders in actual big events. And that's just one of those things, like, when it's your time, it's your time. And man, this lake's been good to me. It's been good to you too, but it has been extremely good to me, and that's what makes it special. Like, when you can pull the win off on your home lake and in front of a home crowd, and you got community, you got friends and families that are behind you, supporting you, it just makes it that much more special. So I'm truly blessed to have been able to do that here on Lake Murray.
We go to great lengths to take care of the fish.
We do. I mean, the organizations that keep the fish, I mean, it's a priority. And it's not only just a priority. I mean, the guys, that's their livelihood. Catching these bass, I mean, that's what we rely on to make a living. We pride ourselves in taking care of these fish, and I really feel like we do an excellent job.
Just what you said, the anglers care so much about those fish, and the fishery, the longevity of a Lake Murray and other places throughout the country. But we also have DNR, South Carolina DNR. They do a great job of creel surveys. They do shocking. They do a lot of different stuff to keep an eye on the population and how healthy our fisheries are. I have confidence in the biologists and the people in our fisheries at South Carolina DNR that Lake Murray is in great shape.
Absolutely.
So I lived on Lake Murray most of my life. You've lived here, and to see the tournament, the Bass Pro Tour tournament here and the Bassmaster tournament here, because I've had a lot of people ask me, saw that tournament on TV, is the lake really that good, or does it need to be a bucket list kind of place for me? I guess I should. What would you say to someone that says, yeah, I saw that?
I think so. Right now, as we speak, the lake is in such good shape. You're going to have a great time. You're going to catch a lot of fish. You got the opportunity to catch big fish. This is a lake that you can come to, and at the right time of year, which is most of the time of year nowadays, small kids can go out there with a Zebco rod and reel, and they're going to have the opportunity to catch something here on this lake and have the opportunity to catch a big fish. So there's a lot of places that the fishing's really good, but man, this stack's literally right up there with some of the best of them. And then you couple that with the other things that the area has to offer, and to me, you got to hit this one. This one has to be on the bucket list.
I totally agree with everything you said. The one thing to me that really sets, as from a fishing standpoint, Lake Murray, even like right now it is August, you can go out there and catch fish. You can do it in December, you can do it in January. It's just a place that you can have a good time, one of the best fisheries in the country, and you can come here 365 days a year and go out and expect to catch fish. And I think that's absolutely incredible. The other thing about Lake Murray, and I'm biased, I really am, but the Southern hospitality. When guys come here, they're like, why does everybody wave at you when you're riding down the road, or when you're going down the lake? Why does everybody do this? Because everybody's nice.
That's right. I heard it countless times this year from the guys that were here that had never been here before.
Yep.